Podcast. What up, everybody? What's up? Sorry I'm late. Way late. But we're here. We're still gonna stack. Actually, might have worked out for us as it looks like we're having a little mini dip. So you can buy extra sats today. Maybe. We'll see. What up? Here for another episode of Buying Bitcoin, of the Stack Bitcoin Show. Getting on our way to one whole Bitcoin. Documented live. Hard Hollow in the house. Let's go. Stack for your health. I like that one. Stack for your health. Where's my stack sheet? There it is. Found it. Okay, there we go. Now we're talking. Okay, cool. All right, let's kick things off with the first segment of the show. The Bitcoin strength. Today, the price of Bitcoin is 94,501 cents. You can buy 1,058 Satoshis for a single dollar. What the heck is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin, just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents. A Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. Okay. Pretty good. It's pretty good. Man. I just want to buy right now because it's getting a local low, but we'll just keep the show going. We'll buy whatever price we get when we get to that segment. Okay? Oh, such a juicy dip. It's juicy. All right. Let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business. You look down and see a penny. You pick it up, and all the day that penny could buy you 10.58 Satoshis for a single penny. Bitcoin's not doing so bad. It's not bad at all. It's doing pretty good. There we go. Pipeline Podcast in the house. What up? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. It says, okay, so about my comment yesterday, my Bitcoin cost average strategy is to save 2,740 sats daily as the floor or a minimum I can save daily. And I'll aim to do more than that daily. Oh, got it. So it's your minimum Bitcoin cost average. Your minimum Bitcoin. I got it. That makes sense. $94,463 Bitcoin. Is it going on discount? What's happening? What's going on? Why is the price going down like that? It's going down so we can buy some tasty, juicy, discounted Satoshis. Dang. I don't know. Maybe it is. All right. While that's happening, let's go hit up the next segment of the show. Why we stack. Whoa, that was an accident. Sorry about that. I scared myself. The gong scared me. So, today's thumbnail shows stacks of dollar bills evaporating into the wind to represent the value of your savings. If your savings are in dollars, if you're planning on retiring, I mean, most people do, but you're saving for that in dollars, you're making it'll be more and more difficult for you to retire because the purchasing power of that money, just like our piggy bank in the guillotine yesterday, the purchasing power of your bills, of your dollar bills, of your fiat money is going down against inflation. It's going down against Bitcoin because of inflation, right? You're able to buy less and less things with that money. So yeah, although technically the money is not evaporating, it still shows the same balance in your bank account, or maybe whatever, right? So you have $1 million in your bank account to retire. Those $1 million are not gonna. It's not gonna go to $500, but those $1 million are gonna buy you $500 worth of stuff in about 7 years or so, right? So the monetary units does not decrease. The purchasing power of those monetary units decreases. Okay, so what is that is the problem we're trying to fix here. That is the problem we're trying to avoid here. We're trying to avoid letting the state devalue your savings and leech the value from you via the process of inflation by saving in Bitcoin instead of saving in government money, dollars, pesos, euro, whatever you want, wherever you're at. Okay, when you do that, you put your savings into an asset like Bitcoin or into Bitcoin. It continues to appreciate in value, in purchasing power against the fiat money, against the government money. And just by the simple act of saving in Bitcoin, you have better returns than most investment funds, right? And if you don't believe me, stay tuned because I'm going to show you some statistics. I'm going to show you all of our spreadsheet for our different purchases that we've done since the beginning of the show back on May 22nd, 2023. Pizza Day, Bitcoin Pizza Day. Okay, so that is the plan. That is where we're at. And to make it short and sweet, why do we save in Bitcoin? Because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold a Bitcoin that represents those hours. That is it. That is why we stack. Okay? Simple as that. That is why we stack. If you're new to stacking, if you're new to saving in Bitcoin, please leave a comment, or if you need help, if you have any questions, this is a beginner-friendly show, so I am here to help. Okay, that is one of my goals. My other goal is to show how easy it is to save in Bitcoin. Carl Black in the house. What up, Carl? Dang, it's been a while, Carl. Good to see you in here. Hope all is well. We've been beach cruising with the kids a lot, Carl, with just regular bikes. We've been beach cruising around the bay. It's been pretty fun this past couple weekends. But yeah, good to see you in here, Carl. I hope all is well. And the stack is strong. The stack is strong in this one. But yeah, it's been a crazy. I'm gonna call it beginning to the summer because it feels like it's summer already. Here in California, we have two. What is it called? Two seasons. Summer. Summer, and kind of it rains for a couple days. The rest of the time it's summertime. Anyway, yeah, it's been fun. All right, so that is why we stack. The next topic of the show. Man, we're burning through these topics. But anyway, let me finish saying this part. What I was saying is, if you're new to the show, if you're new to saving in Bitcoin, if you have questions, we are a beginner-friendly show. We do not try to sell you any kind of altcoins, any kind of Bitcoin yield products, any kind of whatever. All we talk about here is saving in Bitcoin and taking custody of that Bitcoin. Okay, if you need help with that, I'm happy to help. If you need help figuring out how to buy it, where to buy it, how to take custody of your Bitcoin once you buy it and take it off the exchange, we have episodes where we've covered that. If you need a specific explanation on how to do it on a device or on a certain exchange, leave your comment or say so in the chat. Okay, and we'll jump on there and try to figure that out for you either on the next episode or a following episode. Okay, all right. Let's move it along. So, the next order of business, of course, is to show you that we're not just talking about stacking Bitcoin here and not walking the walk. We're talking the talk, but we're also walking the walk. And let me show you in this stack recap. Like I said, we don't only talk about stacking Bitcoin here Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We actually do it. And here is the proof of our stack, proof of work, the proof of the stack we've been doing, the proof of what we've been doing. Starting with this year, so far in 2025, we are up about 5% in our savings for 2025 in Bitcoin. We've set aside $3,280 and accumulated 3.6 million Satoshis for the year, for this year. Okay, so we're about 5 months in. The current value of those of that Bitcoin is about 3,444. In other words, we'd have to pay 5% more of today's weaker money to buy the same amount of Bitcoin. In 2024, we tracked 2024 individually on its own sheet. We're almost at all green in 2024. But in 2024, we saved $7,345 into Bitcoin, and now the current price of Bitcoin is worth about $11,574 for a 57% gain. Dang. Okay, not bad. Do you remember when Germany was selling their Bitcoin at 57,000? So our German stats are here. Thanks, Germany. Thanks, Germany. Boom. Okay. All right. And of course, since the beginning of this whole episode of this whole show, back on May 22nd, 2023, what is this? What am I missing here? 100 days of Bitcoin. There it goes. 100 days of Bitcoin. Anyway, back in May 22nd, 2023, we started stacking Bitcoin when the Bitcoin was priced at $27,360. We bought our first 18,000 sats, 0.00018 Bitcoin. Anyway, we saved on this show. We broke the 14,000 mark because this tracks all the Bitcoin purchases we've done here on the show. We've set aside $14,109 into Bitcoin and accumulated 26.6 million Satoshis. Okay. And those Satoshis are currently worth $25,166.29. That's crazy. Right? So flashing back to what I said earlier during the Why We Stack segment, I set aside $14,109 and did nothing else but take custody of that stack, and it grew from 14,000 to 25,000. So I gained about $11,000 worth of value by doing nothing but living my life, doing the show, hanging out. Anyways, I didn't have to do anything else, anything special to generate that extra $11,000 worth of value. All I did was I bought the Bitcoin. I took the Bitcoin into my own custody, and Shazam, or ta-da, or abracadabra, it turned into an extra $11,000 worth of purchasing power that I didn't have when I first bought the Bitcoin, but I have now that I've been holding the Bitcoin, right, for a gain of about 78% so far. Because again, these are not realized gains. I haven't sold any of this stack. Okay. On top of that regular stack that we bought here live during these shows here during the episodes here for the show, I've done a bunch of other things to get a couple of extra sats here and there, and all of that put together plus the DCA stack that we've been doing here on the show gives us a total of 0.3627824 Bitcoin for the show stack, with a value right now of about $34,275. Cold-blooded. What do you think? It's crazy, right? Do you remember when we were stacking double stacks and quadruple stacks, and this 34,000 was like 29, 28, 30, 31. It was fluctuating in there, and I was like, hang on. As soon as it starts to take off, it's going to take off hard because we're stacking sideways. We're stacking and keeping that level close to 30, close to 30, close to 30. And now that Bitcoin's pumping a little bit, it just blew past the 30 mark, right? Carl says 27K. Wow. I remember that. It's wild, right? It's pretty crazy. Carl seeing the price at 27K. But as the story goes, if you're watching now and you might be thinking to yourself, damn, these guys are got so lucky that they started stacking Bitcoin back in May 2023, about 2 years ago almost, right? Yeah, almost 2 years ago. And it's not even a full cycle yet, guys. It's not even 4 years yet since we started the show. So hopefully we can continue to stack hard and get to 1 Bitcoin before it really goes crazy. But if you're watching this and you're saying to yourself, man, I missed it, you didn't. Okay, because that's the whole point of us showing you each year separately. In 2024, I could have said, oh man, I'm never gonna see Bitcoin at 27,000, at 26,000, at $25,000 Bitcoin. In 2024, I started buying at 43,000, 45,000, right? And was thinking to myself, damn, I wish I would have bought more at 25,000, right? But now, 1 year later from this, right? The bottom is what? 94,000. 84,000, 82,000. The lowest we've seen is 76,000, right? And that was just 1 year away from today, right? Actually, let's see, 429. 420, oops, that's the wrong one, right here. 429. A year ago today, did we buy? Yeah, we bought. A year ago today, Bitcoin was at 63,000, okay? Today's at 94,000. Oh, yeah, 94,000. Anyway, the point here that I'm trying to make is no matter where you start from, that is where you start counting your 4 year minimum of holding that stack. Okay. And then if you hold it for about 4 years, for the most part, you'll be in the black or in the green, whichever way you want to say it. Okay. All right. So I hope that motivates you to get started if you haven't started already. And like I said, you don't have to start with $1 million or with a whole Bitcoin. You can start with as little as 0.00018 Bitcoin, which is 18,000 sats. Back in the day, it was $5. Okay. Now it's probably going to cost you more like, I don't know, $15 or $17 to get, like it'll cost you $17 to get 18,000 sats. But still, start. The whole point is to start. Okay. All right. Let's keep it going. All right. There it is. We have another. Oh, that's it. In 2025, our average buy price is $91,640. The current price of Bitcoin is $94,000. So today we're going to buy a regular stack, a single stack, a $20 purchase of Bitcoin live during the show as Bitcoin starts to come back up. No. All right, let's do this. Okay. Now that we know how much Bitcoin we need to buy, there's only one thing left to do. It's time to stack some Bitcoin. Get my phone out here. $94,700 Bitcoin. Let's see if we get it drops a little bit more before you actually purchase. Is 94,750. Buying. On the Strike app, I have keyed in $20 purchase. Hit next. Let me know in the chat if we should buy it right now or wait 2 minutes. I'm just gonna buy it. I'm gonna cut the music. Hit the drum roll. Hit confirm. Buying $20 worth of Bitcoin right now at the price we deserve. $94,685.96 Bitcoin. There it is. Just like that. We've accumulated an additional 20,887 Satoshis. Carlos Jaramillo in the house. DCA to BTC gang is live. Choo! Round of applause from the live studio audience for Carlos Aramillo. What up, Carlos? We're back to buying $20 stacks, Carlos. $20 stacks. Let's put this in the browser. Today, $429.25. The price of Bitcoin we deserve today is $94,843.68. Bitcoin. We bought $20 worth. The yield on that was 0.000208887 Bitcoin. In other words, 20,887 Bitcoin. It's pretty cool. Copy this for the full sheet right here. The proof of our stack. Look at that. Almost all of our lines are back in the green again. And the new total for the show is 0.3629913 Bitcoin. And we are 20,000 Satoshis closer to one whole Bitcoin. Jeez. Crazy, huh? Crazy talk. It's crazy talk. That's it. That's all I got. Unless you guys have any questions, I'm gonna wrap this show up. Sorry I was a little bit late today. Was it easier to watch a little bit later, or should we stick to the 2 p.m. hour? I'm kind of curious about that. So maybe we can shift around like 30 minutes here or there. Maybe like 2:30 or I'm gonna continue to do 2 o'clock. I'll continue to do 2 o'clock. Yeah, I'll continue to do that. I found a bunch of money that I can stack. I found an old drawer that I had with a bunch of change in it. And guess what? Daddy's got some stacks. Daddy's got some stacking to do. DCA to beat DC any way you can. Any legal way you can. Okay? So that's all I got for you guys today. Let me kick on the music. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're doing it one step at a time, slow and steady, committed to saving in Bitcoin, not getting distracted by all the fun stuff you could do, but like all of the quote unquote fun stuff you could do, like buy MSTR or ETFs or stock options or real estate. All that stuff is not going to perform as well as Bitcoin. And remember, all you have to do with Bitcoin is buy it, take custody of it, and chill. Repeat. Do whatever you want with your free time now that you don't have to worry about sitting and watching the computer and trading. Right? All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later, guys.